Hello everyone and welcome to today's Chrissy B Show. Now the 4th of February is World Cancer Day, an event to unite everyone in the fight against cancer. The aim is to save millions of lives each year by raising awareness about the disease and pressing governments and individuals across the world to take action. Let's take a look at this.
We know cancer is the world's biggest killer, but we also know there's lots we can do.
We can increase awareness,
prevent cancer,
we can challenge perceptions,
create healthy environments,
improve access to cancer care,
share knowledge,
train and educate,
drive policy change,
inspire action,
take action. There's also lots I can do.
make healthy choices,
recognise signs and symptoms,
understand that early detection saves lives,
ask for support,
support others,
return to work,
love,
and be loved,
be myself,
speak out,
share my story,
give hope,
inspire change.
This 4th of February is World Cancer Day.
It's an opportunity to show the world we can all have an impact on cancer.
For the better.
Visit worldcancerday.org to find out what you can do.
So the hashtag for tonight is We Can, I Can. So now let's just go through a statistic for you from worldcancerday.org, and they say currently 8.2 million people die from cancer worldwide every year, out of which 4 million people die prematurely, aged 30 to 69 years old. And we also have some tweets about this as well. Chemo Diva, interesting name, says, "This year tried to kill me." This was obviously 2015. And she says, "Hello 2016, I'm back." And she's put hashtag kiss my butt, or cancer kiss my butt rather. And Angela Gritvan says, "It's World Cancer Day. Take a break and hug someone you love, especially if they've survived cancer." And Fatima says, "So lucky to have such a strong figure in my life. I love you, Mum." And then we have Tampa Sports Girl who says, "He made it to his 83rd birthday and 57th wedding anniversary." And someone else says, "When a 5-year-old offers to help you with your red lipstick selfie for lung cancer awareness." And there's obviously an image coming up on the screen there. And Charlie says, "Every moment is precious. Hashtag cuddles with mum. Hashtag fight cancer." So if you guys at home are involved in this very special day, obviously it's still coming up, but you know, lots of people are doing things right now. You can tweet us at Chrissy B Show. You can also visit our Facebook page and post a message there, The Chrissy B Show. So again, just to remind you guys, the hashtag is We Can, I Can. So just some of the things that we can do is inspire and take action. We can challenge perceptions, create healthy environments and shape policy change. And I can support others, be myself, return to work, share my story, make healthy lifestyle choices. And that's all on the website there as well. So let me tell you about our guests for today, and we have plenty of them, so we're going to try and get through as much as possible today. First of all, we have our resident GP, Dr Rob Hicks, and he's going to be speaking about the different types of cancer, the causes, and if you can actually prevent yourself from getting cancer in the first place. And we also have Senior Science Communications Officer at Cancer Research UK, Dr Alan Worsley, and he'll be talking about the work that they do, where we are now with cancer research, the different campaigns they run, and how you at home can help out and do your bit. And we also have a real-life story guest, former TV presenter and journalist Richard Thomas, who survived a very rare form of cancer, and also Marilyn O'Connor, who lost her husband to cancer less than 1 month after their wedding. Also, we're going to be seeing our Jenny going for a very lovely class that's suitable for everyone, no matter the fitness level, and also very good for people that are going through any health problems. And also we have a special performance later by Elizabeth Ann Raja. But for now, let's go to our guest from the Union for International Cancer Control, CEO Dr Cary Adams. Hello, Cary.
Hello, hi.
Thanks so much for joining us.
That's my pleasure.
Now, first of all, can you tell us what actually the Union for International Cancer Control is all about and how it got together in the first place?
Well, sure. It's actually a very old organisation. It started in 1933 in Paris when a group of oncologists decided that cancer was a global phenomenon and that maybe they should get together and work on research and look at standards and how it should be addressed around the world. And it's been around since 1933, and now it's in Geneva. Okay. And it's a membership organisation with an awful lot of cancer organisations from around the world that form part of our ambition to address cancer in every country.
Mm-hmm. And the idea for World Cancer Day, how did that come about?
Well, World Cancer Day has been running for probably about 10 years, I think. And it's a day when we can bring the cancer community together from every part of the world, from every country, on a particular theme, and hopefully inform and inspire the general population through organisations like yourself and journalists and the general media, social media now as well, of course, to get some positive messages out there about what we can really do about cancer, both to avoid it, to reduce the risk factors, treat it, and hopefully reduce numbers of deaths in the future. So it's a really a community effort right around the world.
Brilliant. How would you say it's been going the last few years? Has it been a progression?
Well, it's been really exciting. I mean, about 3 or 4 years ago, we were probably doing well. We had engagement from most of the world, but the last year we really did get to a tipping point where so many organisations who weren't related to UICC, my own organisation, actually took on the day and did something quite extraordinary themselves, either running events locally or talking to the press. We had the French government announced a national cancer control plan. We've had the Empire State Building being lit up blue and orange.
Wow,
organisations all around the world using it and doing things which are related to the theme. So we choose a theme working with our members that is a positive theme that they can at least associate something that they're doing which is relevant to it. And with this year, we've got We Can, I Can, and that will run for 3 years. And hopefully organisations in every country, like Cancer Research UK and Macmillan in the UK, will take that message and talk to the media about what can really be done to address cancer in their own country.
We've been using the hashtag today already, and we'll be throughout the show as well.
Oh, excellent. Have you done a talking hand yet? I expect to see a talking hand.
No, show us.
That's our social media campaign, Talking Hands. So if you go to the worldcancerday.org website, you can actually post some pictures of you writing on your hands some key messages about cancer.
Oh, brilliant.
I've done one myself, which is very embarrassing. It says, I can love. But to do this sort of job, you have to love what you do, because cancer can be sometimes a little bit depressing. But because we're so passionate about making a difference, people who work in this field, you have to love it. It has to be something that is driven from the heart as well as from the mind.
And what can individuals do to help, Cary, before you go?
What can individuals do?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, go to the worldcancerday.org website, because there's lots of information there about what's happening around the world. We'll be posting on that what's happening in the UK, what's happening in South Africa, Nigeria. Every country will post information there.
Amazing.
They can get involved in the Talking Hands campaign, the social media campaign on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever their preferred media in social media is. But also just reach out to people who are affected by cancer. Talk to organisations in their country who are addressing cancer and see what you can do to help. So there's so much that can be started on World Cancer Day, and hopefully in a very positive way, which can involve others. And that's one of the key things about cancer, is that it tends to be something you shy away from. But actually, when you get involved with the community that are addressing it day to day, it's a wonderfully positive environment.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cary, for speaking to us. It's been great.
No, not at all, and I wish you the best luck with the rest of the show.
Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to have the news with the lovely Helena Shard. Hello, Helena.
Hello, Chrissy.
So great guest there.
Fantastic.
Great what they're doing.
Yeah, really, really good. Cancer, the leading cause of death around the world, so it's amazing that we have this day, and the run-up actually 2 weeks into it as well. And it's so sad that we've had actually so many deaths that have happened, but I mean, obviously to remember all these special people, celebrities, and remember their life, but just running through a few of them. So Motorhead singer, guitarist Lemmy, 70, who died of prostate cancer, but quite sad because it happened quite late. He didn't really know about it and died a few days later. Shocked everybody. David Bowie, the amazing David Bowie, 69. He had a secret 18-month battle, very strong, but he died, I think, 2 days after his album was released, Backstar, and his birthday. But he's had like 5 generations of great success, amazing, and I saw all the tributes to him, which are super. So good at reinventing. But also, I think one of the things which was really inspiring is that there was Mark Talbot, who is a palliative care doctor who praised Bowie for his strength. And in fact, he's really been an inspiration to millions battling life-ending illnesses. I think his strength, and obviously his giving the last album to everybody, and he really planned everything. So really special. Alan Rickman, BAFTA Golden Globe Award. I love him, absolutely. Well, I loved him. His voice, amazing. Again, that was quite shocking. 69, that's pancreatic cancer. So really sad. And the lovely thing about him, he'd been with his wife since he was 19, and they lived together, I think, for 35 years, and then they got married. Again, that was quite a last-minute thing. He didn't know too much. Celine Dion and her husband and her brother, apparently 13 siblings, and her brother had brain, throat and tongue cancer.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
So that's quite good. The Angelina Jolie effect. I always think that she's a great ambassador in what she does, but she's 40 now, but when she had her double mastectomy and reconstruction, it raised awareness for cancer.
Oh, it did.
And so many people, so many people actually...
Everyone was talking about it. It wasn't all over the news. That was really good.
And also more people went through with it as well. And I think because people realised that you could have reconstruction from your own tissue at the same time, it was, I think she's super. And it's to do with the BRCA1 gene, which is a mutation. But I didn't realise that if you have that, the risk of breast cancer increases by 87%. So high, and ovarian cancer 50%. Also, not to forget that male celebrities, not just celebrities, obviously I'm talking about celebrities in the news, but also have breast cancer. Peter Criss, the Kiss drummer, was talking about the fact that he got that. He's now a great ambassador and an advocate for male breast cancer awareness. His operation was successful, so that's great news. And there was the campaign...
It was good that he was open about that, wasn't it? Because
really, I mean, there's been a few, and you don't think of men having breast cancer.
No, that's the thing, but obviously it just takes one to start talking about it, and then others follow, and it's really good just to get the word out there.
Absolutely. A lady called Candy Marie Fox, she was 32, she was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. She completely changed her lifestyle. She decided actually to self-medicate, and she wasn't going to have chemo because she'd had friends and family that had died. It completely worked for her. She banished all toxins from her life, cigarettes, alcohol, meat, actually split up with her husband, who wasn't very good for her, he was also toxic, and took up meditation. Ate loads of fruit. I mean, she managed to get rid of lots of tumours. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but that's self-belief, and it worked for her. Steve Jobs, as we know, who passed away some time ago, he regretted not taking the... He did more of an alternative medicine route and left it for 9 months, and those 9 months were crucial, and he wishes that he'd had chemo at that time.
It's just so hard to know what to do when you're in that situation, isn't it?
It is, and cancers can be they're so different. Some are far more aggressive than others.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the thing. One last one. So, giving up dairy products to beat cancer. So, as a leading scientist, Jane Plant, ironic, her name's Jane Plant, fighting breast cancer since 1987, and absolutely linked to animal products, cut them out of her diet, and is doing incredibly well.
Oh, interesting. We're going to ask our doctor about that.
Yeah.
We've run out of time, Helena.
Oh,
thank you so
much to say.
I know, but you covered some great stuff there. Thank you so much, Helena. And we'll see you again next time.
See you soon.
All right, guys, so we do have loads to get through, and after the break we have the story of former TV presenter and journalist Richard Thomas, who decided to check himself out when he had trouble going to the toilet, and there was quite a grim discovery. And also we have a special performance by Elizabeth Ann Raja. Don't go away. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back, everyone, to our show all about World Cancer Day, which is happening on the 4th of February 2016. So the hashtag, as we've been saying for tonight, is We Can, I Can. So just a few of the things that we can do as a whole is inspire and take action, challenge perceptions, create healthy environments and shape policy change. And as individuals and those going through cancer as well, support others, be yourselves, return to work, share your story, make healthy lifestyle choices. And there are more on worldcancerday.org. So now joining me, I have former TV presenter and journalist Richard Thomas and his partner Elizabeth Ann Raja. Hello.
Hi.
How are you both?
Very well.
Thank you so much for coming on to share your amazing story.
Our pleasure.
So Richard, you've been through something very, very difficult. Can you tell the viewers when you discovered what you did and how you felt?
I couldn't go to the loo one day from the back end. So I went to my doctor. And of course he said, the usual glove, bend over. And he went, oh, I'm not happy with this. And sent me to Frimley. They sent me to Guildford, who in turn sent me to the Croydon, East Surrey Hospital. And my specialist, Dr Stewart, she said, have a signoscopy. And pushed the camera up there, and I was looking, and I saw them. There was like 2 chicken fillets.
Really?
I could actually see them with the signoscopy, just goes up your rectum. And he said, can you see? I said, yes, I can. And believe it or not, his name was Dr Grabham. That's serious, serious, honestly.
Okay.
So we had a laugh about that anyway, and he said, there they are. So I said, really, what should we do, cut them out? He said, no, they've got roots, and your blood could go in your body. I said, well, he said, chemo and radio, and it's going to be painful. So I went to see my specialist, Dr Stewart, and she said, Richard, it is going to be painful. Anyway, 2 weeks. I've had more pain than this, and then after a month, I couldn't walk.
Really?
You've got some pictures. I couldn't walk. I had to have a nappy.
What was going through your head during this time?
Well, if it hadn't been for Anne,
yeah,
I don't know what I'd have done. I mean, you say, do you know a 77-year-old man that wears a nappy and pooed himself in the checkout counter in Sainsbury's? That's what I'd done. So I thought, God. And then it went on and it went on. Well, you've got some pictures, whether you show them or not, I don't know. But pain and pain, pain.
Anne, how were you during all of this? Obviously, it was a shock to find out that.
Obviously, it was a shock, but he needed support, and I had to do whatever needed to be done. You know, I mean, certain areas of his body had to be cleaned every day with cotton buds. Well, that wasn't very pleasant. And going to
guys, we are being quite open on this program because we want to keep it real and obviously people need to know these things.
No
but obviously
substitute for cancer.
We're going to be giving you obviously tips and pointers as well, and the how to help people as well. Sorry, go ahead, my darling. Yeah.
Just trying to be positive for him, and saying, look, every day is a day closer to you getting better. And I just kept pumping that at him. And in the end, he decided that he was going to stand up and fight. And that's exactly what he did.
So was there a point, Richard, where you felt like giving up?
Yes. When I went to see Dr Stewart, and it was at its worst. And she said, trousers. So I dropped my trousers. And of course, she was quite nice. She said to me, that's an improvement. I said, hello, look, everything is bleeding. I've lost my penis, it's disappeared. And look at my rectum. She said, it's marvellous. I said, do you know the pain? She said, I told you it would be painful. And I was on morphine, drips, morphine, and of course, Anne was a diamond. I mean, to say, could you imagine a 76-year-old, 77-year-old man bending over with no clothes on, and she's got cotton buds doing my bum. That's what she done for me. And if it hadn't been for her, I don't know what would have happened, really.
So she was don't make me cry as well.
No.
So you were great support. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do for someone that you love. But that support was so important to you, and that's why.
And the nurses. Yeah. At the
East Surrey Hospital.
East Surrey Hospital in the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and they were just tremendous. I had to be lifted on and off of the chemotherapy, and it's amazing what the chemotherapy does to you. I mean, I know it destroys the cancer along with the chemo and the radiotherapy, that it destroys the cancer, but
it's hard
if you've got it, go and have it done. You know, kill cancer. Got to do it. Can I just mention to a friend of mine who's in a bit of trouble? Hello, Robert Parker. He's given me strength. He's had chemo and radio for over 172 days. And he's been my strength along with Anne.
I can see you're really passionate about this and how much
that's
you
why
want
I do everything for cancer.
Yeah.
My first wife died of cancer. And then I just went, right. But we're not making a lot of progress, to be honest. I'm studying it. No, we're not. And of course, the government have now decided where there was 60 drugs available, they're cutting 20 out. So we've only got 40. So I said to a friend of mine who's an MP, what would happen if an MP needed a drug that you'd cut out? He said, Richard, I can't answer that.
Well, that's why we're trying to do our part today, to campaign and to do more about it. But talk us through the recovery now and how you got past certain stages.
The recovery was just... When I went to have my last signoscopy, and he put the camera up, and because I like to look, because it's wonderful to see inside your body, and then you know, hello. And I looked and he said, there we are, look. The two black bits, it's gone. I said to him, what's the freckling? He said, I'm coming to that. The freckling is where the radiotherapy burns your rectum inside. So you have to be careful what you eat. If you eat, say, for example, peanuts, like I used to eat peanuts, if you don't chew them and then you pass them, they could go through where the freckles was, and you could bleed a fraction from behind. Okay. So I don't eat peanuts anymore. And I have
to change your diet quite a bit.
Oh yes, I eat fish, lots of fish, rice, and I take, what's that drink I take at night?
Syrup of figs.
Syrup of figs, I have an enormous amount of syrup of figs. So when I actually go to the loo, I don't have any pain. And when I saw it had gone, and I went to see Dr. Stewart, she said, good news. I said, I know, I've looked. She said, what do you think? I went, what can I say? If it wasn't for you and Dr. Wells and Anne, I don't know what I'd have done.
Did it change your perspective?
Oh yes, oh yes.
In what way?
Maybe look at life differently. Before, well, you know what I've done before, the people I've met and people I've
you know quite a few people. I think we need to get you on another show just to talk about all of that, because he's...
Well, especially with the King of Swaziland. You've got a picture of me with him. And
you're good mates with him.
Well, you know the story about that. Nigel Benn is a good friend. Eric Sykes was a good friend about golf. And some of their friends have been through cancer. And I just say to them, listen, it's not easy for me to say to you, be strong, but you must be. Yeah. And we haven't really got to grips with it yet. To be honest, I study it now. I do everything on my laptop. As far as I know, we've only got radio and chemo and the drugs that we can't get. But it's a shocking friend of ours built our brick wall, didn't he? Died 6 months later. Went from 12 stone to 4. Wow. It's a swine.
Let's talk about your relationship and how important that was. Obviously, that was a great support for you. You're very proud of her as well, aren't you? Because she does some amazing poems, which she's going to read one in just a moment. But there's another achievement. Can you tell us about that? You told me before.
Tell me.
You tell me, because I can't remember. Exactly.
Was it how we met? No.
No.
What was it then, darling? I've done so much. Seriously, curing cancer was my biggest achievement. Well, with the help from the doctor, the surgeons.
Something to do with basketball?
Oh, Anne!
How could you forget?
She played basketball for England.
There you go.
oh yes, very talented lady.
You play with someone you know.
Very talented. She does everything.
So you are proud of her?
Oh. She saved my life, basically. Yeah, what women do you know, seriously, off the top of your head, would be doing that around a man's rectum with the, you know, and putting the nappy on for me, because I didn't know they'd done adult nappies. And I told you, when I proved myself in Sainsbury's at the checkout, that was like, that brought reality to me.
Great. Which is why also we say to people that when you are going through something, make sure you do have a support system, even if you don't have family around you. But there are the people that can help, like the professionals and everything.
Yes, where Eddie was, round the corner?
Macmillan Nursery.
Macmillan Nursery, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
They are. Yeah.
They are fabulous. They go through, they see so much torture and death. They took a friend of ours, the one who built our brick wall, they took him to their centre. They got people to go around and play chess with him. When he was really dying, they came to his house, bought him a special bed. I can't say enough of the Macmillan nurses, seriously. And all the books that I've had published, I'm not charging anybody for them. They're going into the cancer shops and they're on the counter. And if they say, how much is the book? I've told them to say, a donation, and you've got the book.
Can you tell us about the poem, one of the poems that you're going to read today, and like why you wrote it?
Well, the book is called Transition, the Journey, and it's the journey from one life to another, really, or from one person to another. And I wrote the book because I love poetry, but I was also passionate about the topic of cancer, of course, because of Richard's involvement and because my mum died of cancer and all of those sorts of things. And you know, you're hearing every day about people with cancer and how terrible it is and the varying, you know, degrees of pain that people are in. And so I just sat down and thought, you know, now's the time for me to try and do something to raise some money for this you know,
brilliant.
this terrible
Brilliant
disease.
initiative. So which one are you going to read for us
I'm
today?
going to read you a poem called Sadness.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you can look into that camera
Okay.
and speak to our viewers there.
Some days the sun doesn't shine so brightly in the sky. These days don't go well, and I know why. Things seem to tumble into my life in a mess, and knowing that cancer causes us deep distress. So what can I do to make my troubles go away? What do I have to do? What do I say? I say be bold and realise the fact that your world isn't a perfect place. Stand up, be strong, look cancer in the face. Even now, I know it isn't going to be easy. I have to get on and not be queasy. So here I am looking at my life in the eye with a smile on my face so I don't cry. Please help me, my friend, and don't ever go. This way, I'll make it. This, we both know.
Brilliant. Oh,
Brilliant.
cute.
Could I
that
read
was
a
wonderful.
short one for you, please?
As long as it's kids' positive spin on it.
Ah,
Because we're almost going to go to break.
okay.
All right.
It's very quick.
Okay. Do you know what page it's on?
Which one is it?
No, I know this
What's it
one.
called?
It's called The Reaper.
The next page, the next page.
Is that suitable, Rich?
The Reaper. I knew the time was coming when cancer would be knocking at my door. I wouldn't open it. I've heard... No, I can't.
I'll read it. You can't start them and not.
Sorry. Sorry.
The
You're
Reaper.
doing so well, sweetheart. You really are.
I knew the time was coming when he'd be knocking at my door. I wouldn't open it. I'd heard what he'd done before. I wanted things to stay the same and not to go away. But I knew it was only a matter of time before he'd come my way. And then I thought, what's to fear? I have faith in the Lord, the Almighty and the omnipotent God. So with a smile on my face I waited till he came. I knew that things couldn't remain the same. So my family and friends have already said goodbye. I've told them have faith and not cry. Goodbye.
Okay. And on that note, we have to go to break. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank
I know
you
it's
for
been
having
quite
us.
emotional.
Thank you for
and,
having us.
You know,
Seriously,
it's brilliant
Chrissy.
having you on. Thank you so much. And you did great with the poems, darling.
Would you like the book?
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you so much.
She'll sign it for
All
£4.
right.
Which will be donated to cancer, of course.
All right.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, guys, so don't go away because after the break, I've got another two great guests. We have Dr. Rob Hicks, who's our resident GP on the show, and he's going to be talking about the different types of cancer and giving us more information. And also we have Senior Science Communications Officer at Cancer Research UK, Dr. Alan Worsley, and he was talking about the work. So he's giving me, he's giving me the mug as well. Thank you so much. And he's going to be telling us all about the different campaigns they run and how we at home can also help out and do our bit. So don't go away. Hi, I'm Chrissy B and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to today's programme where we are speaking all about cancer because on the 4th of February it's World Cancer Day. So the hashtag for today is We Can, I Can. So just a few things that we can do as a whole is inspire and take action, challenge perceptions, create healthy environments and shape policy change. And as individuals, if you're going through cancer as well, support others. Be yourself, return to work, share your story and make healthy lifestyle choices. Actually, that's something that we can all do. So we've had some great guests on. We've had former TV presenter and journalist Richard Thomas, who survived a rare form of cancer. Now we have with us Senior Science Communications Officer at Cancer Research UK, Dr. Alan Worsley, and also our resident GP, Dr. Rob Hicks. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, I'm good. How are you both?
Good. Yeah.
Good to have you both on. So obviously we heard Richard's story earlier. What did you think of that?
It was an incredible story.
Yeah.
He's obviously, dealt with such a difficult problem, and it's having that kind of support can be so essential.
So important, isn't it?
But each journey is unique to that individual, but the more lives we can save,
Definitely.
gives us the reason why we're doing what we're doing today.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking a bit about prevention as well, but also on the Cancer UK research side as well, want to know how that's going. So let's start off with the prevention. So Rob, obviously there's loads of different forms of cancer, and it's obviously a massive issue worldwide.
Yeah, there's over 100 different types of cancer that affect us as human beings. Obviously there are the more common ones. So you've got lung cancer, you've got breast cancer. For men, you've got prostate cancer, and for men and women, you've got bowel cancer. So those are the most common cancers. The sad reality is every 2 minutes in the UK, somebody's diagnosed with cancer. So during the course of our programme, a number of people will be diagnosed with cancer. So you're looking at around about 340,000 cases every year in the UK. So that's a huge number. And I suppose the tragedy of that is not just that the people are suffering with cancer, but actually around about 4 out of 10 cancers are preventable.
Yeah.
So there are simple steps that we can all be taking to try and prevent cancer in ourselves and indeed in our loved ones, and reduce our risk. One of the common things that causes cancer, skin cancer of course, is overexposure to UV radiation, and that's one of the most preventable forms of cancer that we can work against. Smoking, you don't need me to tell you that, is responsible for around about 1 in 5 cancers. Everybody has heard about smoking and lung cancer, but may not be aware that it also contributes to mouth cancer, throat cancer, cancer of the voice box, cancer of the gullet as well. So around about at least 14 different cancers are related to smoking. Alcohol, a lot of news recently about alcohol and the dangers of how it's associated with 7 different types of cancer.
And we are in dry January at the moment.
And here we are, people taking a very good step actually to reduce their risk of alcohol related cancers. And not a week goes by when somebody doesn't talk about diet.
Yes.
And my simple approach to patients is, reduce your consumption of red meat and processed meats, increase your consumption of fruit and vegetables and fibre, and indeed reduce your consumption of salt as well. If you just simply do those things, you will significantly reduce your risk of a number of different cancers.
And that's actually part of obviously the hashtag that we're talking about, is this is what we can all do as individuals, and to cut the risk. Yeah.
And it's worth saying as well that, for when we say things like getting exercise as well and changing your diet, a bit more fruit and veg, they don't have to be massive things. We're not saying go run a marathon. We're not saying completely change. Just small steps can actually add up quite a bit. And as you said, 4 in 10 cancers are preventable, and these are the little things we can do can go a long way. But the main one is cut smoking. Yeah. That is single-handedly one of the biggest causes.
It does say on the box that smoking kills, doesn't it? But it's still.
I mean, I was fascinated to read actually on Cancer Research UK's website, that the exercise, regular exercise, will prevent 3,400 cancers.
Absolutely.
Really?
A year.
Wow.
And that does, as you say, that isn't about marathons and excessive use of the gym. It's simply getting up to walk. Maybe if you work in an office and you're going to the toilet, rather than going to the nearest one, go up a flight of stairs to get to it.
This is the thing,
the stairs, not the lift.
Yeah, because sometimes people think small things wouldn't make much difference. Maybe that's the mentality. Oh, if I can't go to the gym 4 times a week, I'm not going to bother doing anything. But there are
absolutely not. Just little steps can help, and because I think one of the things we haven't mentioned that's becoming a bigger issue is obesity. Obesity is also linked to quite a few cancers, and I think, we've come a long way with smoking. We may be banging on about smoking one, but that is a really big cause of many cancers. I think the message is starting to get through on that one. Good. Still a ways to go, and I think as that's going down, I think obesity is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, a bigger and bigger cause. So really, diet, exercise, these are the things that we should be emphasizing more. It's the things that you can do as someone listening to this program. Small things can make a big difference.
Definitely. I think it's very important as well that people take up the invitations for cancer screening that are available throughout the UK. So women are invited to come for cervical screening, to have their cervical smear test. And that's not to diagnose cancer per se, that's actually to detect the abnormal cells that if left untreated can become cancer. But then of course there's the bowel cancer screening programme as well, and there's the breast cancer screening programme that most women are aware of. And these are ways of detecting cancer before it causes symptoms, so that you catch it early. The earlier it's detected, the better the chance of successful cure.
definitely. In terms now of research, how is that going? Where are we now with that?
It's genuinely a really exciting time for cancer research. There's, in the 1970s, 1 in 4 patients survived their cancer. Now it's 1 in 2. So we're definitely on an upward trajectory. Yeah. And the more we understand about how cancer works, the different types of cancer, ways we can prevent them, the more we can reduce our risk, diagnose it early, and we're getting newer and better treatments. So they are coming online. There's one of the new areas that's becoming much better known as immunotherapy. This is harnessing the power of your immune system to fight cancer. So this has been an old idea, but our understanding of how that works has changed radically over the last 10, 15 years. And we're now starting to see the first few treatments based on that. Beginning to turn our own immune system, recognize, treat cancer as a problem. Cancer has a lot of ways of tricking the immune system and pretending it's not there, it's actually healthy, but we're very sneaky. But we're starting to figure out how to get past those tricks. And so that's really one particular bright area of new treatments that are coming for cancer patients.
Brilliant. And what can maybe individuals do to help Cancer Research UK? And
the only way we're ever going to beat cancer is through research. The more research we do, the sooner we can find these new treatments to test whether or not they work. And at Cancer Research UK, we're entirely dependent on the public for donations. The more donations we get, the more research we can fund, and the sooner we can beat cancer for good.
Definitely. So there is, we can never give up, basically, because, even though the statistics are worrying and it's horrible, and, I've lost my dad to cancer, and so many people have lost loved ones, but we can't give up. We just have to keep going and fighting it and standing up to it.
And at Cancer Research UK, it's our ambition that, I said 1 in 4 40 years ago, 1 in 2 now, it's our ambition in 20 years, we want to make that 3 in 4 survive. And we can do it. And the more we donate, in days like World Cancer Day, days of unity like this, to raise that awareness. So I'm wearing these armbands because these
very
are
colourful.
four different, very colourful, 4 different charities working together for World Cancer Day to say, together we can do this, we can beat it.
We can.
And the more research we do, the sooner that day will come.
We can do it. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to go to another break, and actually we do have a video of a lovely couple that came, and we were speaking earlier about how important it is to have that support from someone, and this is actually someone that went through cancer called Gary, and he nominated his wife for a makeover. So every week we do a nice special makeover for someone, and he was talking very openly about how important it was to him to have his wife Alison support him, and she really helped him to get through it. So let's take a look at this and then we'll be back. So, I did receive his email, and I have to say it nearly made me cry. My eyes welled up because it was so beautiful the way you spoke about her. Why is she so special?
Well, she's had a lot to fight with over the last few years. Was diagnosed with cancer about 8-9 years ago, and it was bad enough to have us quite concerned.
Yeah.
And she'd been by my side from the time I got diagnosed right up until today.
So now let's take a look at how Alison looked before the makeover. There's a picture on your screen right now. And now it's time for the big reveal. Hello, Alison.
Hi.
Look at that lovely makeover. Did you enjoy it, my love?
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Very relaxing.
So let's take things back to when you were first diagnosed with cancer. How was that?
It started off where I was just having pains in my chest. And then it progressed on to having X-rays. And then it was, we can't really see anything on the X-rays, and perhaps people send you for a CT scan. And then we got taken into a room at a local hospital and sat down, and those words rung out from the doctor's mouth, "Sorry that you've got cancer." And it was, it's one of those moments where everything stands still. And it's, straight away you think, well, that's it. I've had me chips, as it were, and how long have I got, sort of thing, But it wasn't a case of that. It was a case of we've got to run more tests, and then it was a major operation, and it was all a bit of a shock. Fortunately enough, Alison she's very level-headed. She kept me a bit, kept me feet on the floor, kept me grounded.
Can you tell us when you first heard the news, what went through your mind?
It's fear of the unknown, really, I would say. I think the most traumatic thing was the waiting time for the appointments and the in-between stages, the not knowing what type of cancer it was. But the important thing was to keep strong for us both, really, and keep positive.
Apart from the positive thoughts, because obviously you must have needed support yourself. Do you find that you need to talk to people as well, or are you sort of just talk to each other about things, or do you get more support?
Obviously we talk to each other. We have a strong faith. We've also got a very big family, a strong family bond, and a good network of friends who have really helped and supported us through what we've been through.
Watching the two of you in the green room and having a chat with you, I can see your relationship is such a lovely one, and you're very close and everything, and I see a lot of laughter and a lot of humour as well, which is absolutely lovely, and I think that's so important. I think that's so important, so you still have laughs even though things are really tough for you both, but how important do you think the humour side is, and just being close as a couple?
I think it's been vital. I think if we hadn't had a sense of humour, we probably wouldn't have got through it. And the sense of humour has probably come out more because we laugh at different things.
Even in the hospitals, it was we was laughing and joking in the hospitals, not only with each other but with the porters, with the hospital staff. We was always having a laugh and a giggle with them, weren't we? And I think that's one thing that keeps you human, if you like.
So great looking back at that story. So after the break, we're going to be speaking to another real life story guest, Marilyn O'Connor, who lost her husband to cancer less than a month after their wedding. And also we're going to be seeing our Jenny getting on with some strength training for any kind of health problem you might be going through. But first, I just wanted to ask Alan, where can we get these lovely wristbands from that you spoke about?
So if you want to help out in the campaign and you want to try out these wristbands, if you go to worldcancerday.co.uk, you can find them there, and you can find out all about the different charities that are taking part.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thanks again, guys.
Thank
See you again soon. Thank you. All right, guys, so quick break, and we'll see you after this. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back everyone to our World Cancer Day show, and World Cancer Day is happening on the 4th of February. So we've had some great guests on, and we have one more guest for you tonight. We're going to meet her in just a moment, but first of all, we are going to see our Jenny doing some strength training at the YMCA, and this kind of exercise is good for everyone, especially those with health problems. And just to remind everybody, our hashtag for tonight is We Can, I Can. We can all do our part to help raise awareness about cancer and fight it. But let's first go to the video.
Hi everyone, this is Jenny Cortez Ibanez, and right now I'm at the YMCA Club in Tottenham Court Road, central London, to take part in the Easy Cardio class instructed by Catherine Guy. Now Catherine's going to show us how to keep active in a very, very fun way through exercising, no matter what the age, and also even if you've got any health issues that you're going through, just like cancer. So let's get moving. So right now I'm joined by Katie, the instructor of today's class. Hello Katie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for having me today.
Pleasure.
Absolutely enjoyed it. It was great. Kept me going, that's for sure. So first of all, what do you do? What's your background?
My background, I was a ballet teacher, mostly teaching children.
in New York and other countries, but now I have stopped that, and I do exercises for elderly people in care homes or disabled people. I specialise in that, and I work for the over 50s or 55s in YMCA and anywhere else. And I do antenatal and postnatal exercise classes too.
I can certainly tell you're a dancer, ballet dancer, with all the lovely moves you were making.
Yes, it never leaves you, I think.
Talk us a little bit about the different exercises we did in the class and what they do and why they're so good for you.
I do stretches and bar work for strengthening feet, legs, knees, helping all of that. Back's very important. Posture is the most important thing for old people, not to slump because you can't breathe, you can't move, you know. Get your back strong. So we do that. Then we do a bit of weights, which is very good for old bones. It helps increase the bone density.
And also, why is it important? Why should people who maybe have health issues definitely do some exercise themselves?
Well, first of all, it's depressing when you have an illness. Secondly, if you come into an exercise class, immediately there's camaraderie. You start moving, and that's good because the blood circulates, and the blood, of course, carries everything, oxygen, everything. You learn to breathe better, you move better, and I think it gives you an uplift exercise. So it's very important, plus the fact it does strengthen your bones, definitely. As you get older, you need to. Walking is very good too, but exercise is more fun, I think.
Thank you so much for your time.
Nice to meet you.
Till next time.
So great just seeing Jenny there doing some exercise, and great for everyone, obviously, as Rob mentioned earlier, that it is very good to exercise because this does make a huge difference, more than you can imagine. All right, guys, so now it's time to meet our final guest for tonight, and that's Marilyn O'Connor. Hello, Marilyn.
Hi, Chrissy. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming on the show today. So I know you've travelled from Ireland just to be on the show. So it's wonderful to have you. So you've also got a story to tell about cancer.
I do, yes.
Can you tell us about what happened?
Well, I'd met this really wonderful guy called Vincent about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we had a great relationship. We were very, very much in love. And he was out cutting a hedge one day, and he came home and he said his arm was hurting, his left arm was hurting. Mm-hmm. But it was very painful. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, it was rotary cuff tendonitis. But the pain in his arm didn't get any better. That pain was there from October. Then on the 8th of February 2014, he was in excruciating pain. Now, he was a 6'3" man, he was ex-military, so he wasn't a baby or anything like that, but to see a grown man crying in pain was heartbreaking. So I called an ambulance. He was taken into the hospital. They x-rayed his arm, and we were dealt the news that he had 4 upper arm fractures here. Really? That was caused by bone cancer.
Wow.
So he was then kept in hospital. They wanted to do further scans and tests on him. And it was then found out that the cancer that he had in his bones was a secondary cancer. The primary cancer was in his kidney. So obviously that was a huge shock, because he didn't drink and he didn't smoke. He was, as I say, ex-military. He was a very strong, fit man. So his diagnosis did not fit.
Didn't make sense, does it? And
no,
it
absolutely.
does happen like that, sometimes. And were you already married at this time, or were you?
No, we weren't. We'd spoken about it, but we hadn't made any firm plans. It was after he was diagnosed that we decided that we'd get married. But Vincent didn't get any chemotherapy or radiotherapy. He was on a new target therapy drug, and this drug was to try and trick the cancer. There was no prognosis could be given as definite as to how long he would have. We knew it was terminal, but we were sort of given a guideline of maybe 5 years. So we knew when we were getting married that we would never get old together.
Okay.
So we planned our wedding. We got married on the 13th of August 2014. We had a very, very beautiful day. The weather was great. Vincent's health wasn't 100%. He had a little bit of a cough, but he was in high spirits, and nothing, there was no signals to say that anything was untoward or anything was wrong. We had a wonderful day, and we didn't organise to go on honeymoon there straight away. We thought that we would give ourselves a few days and then decide where we were going to go. So 2 days after the wedding, he was back in hospital with this horrendous cough. And it was thought that he had burnout from the wedding because he'd given it socks, you know, he'd really put a lot of energy into it.
Can you imagine?
And a lot of doctors were running around and nobody was saying anything. And I just, it wasn't denial, it was probably an innocence really, because I just thought, oh, they're aware that we've just got married. Because it was, we had a standing joke is, oh, you know, I'd say to Vincent, oh, you were a cheapskate. You know, anything to get out of taking me on honeymoon. I'm stuck in a hospital ward.
So important to keep the humour, isn't it? Like,
and that's what we did, to try to keep the humour. So it was like the room that Vincent was in, we called it the honeymoon suite. This was our honeymoon suite. So doctors were not saying anything, and there was a lot of to-ing and fro-ing. And we were sitting on the bed doing a list of things we were going to do with money we'd received as wedding gifts. Towels, a new iron, a honeymoon, normal things. And a visitor came to see Vincent, and while that visitor was there, the doctors called me into the side room, still not thinking anything was too untoward. I went in, and this beautiful doctor sat down with me, and she said, Marilyn, she says, it's breaking my heart to see you writing these letters, you know, writing this list. She says, I think you should know, she says, Vincent is very sick. And I've gone, I know he is. I know he's very sick. It's a chest infection, burnout from the wedding. No, he's extremely sick. And we need you to call his family. We don't think he's going to make the weekend.
Oh, goodness.
So I started laughing, which sounds horrid, but it wasn't laugh as in
funny.
It was like, no, like we've only just been married, like just 10 days before. No, this is not happening. He's just got a chest infection. You've got it wrong. And the doctor just shook her head and she said, no. She said, we haven't got it wrong, Marilyn. I'm so, so sorry. We just don't think he's going to survive this weekend. If his heart goes, he won't be resuscitated.
Wow. How long after that news did he actually pass?
He passed on the Sunday. He did last the weekend.
Okay.
And he decided that he wanted to come home. I had to give him the news. I asked the doctors, said, do you want me to tell? I said, do I tell him or do you tell him? And they said it would be better coming from you because you're his wife. So I had to tell him that he was dying. And he made the decision then that he wanted to come home. So we took him home, and he died on the 8th of September. So he lasted a week at home, and he died in my arms.
Oh, gosh.
At 9:20 on the 8th of September.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're so strong to come and talk about it here today. I think you're amazing to do that. I think it takes a tremendous amount of strength to come and talk about something so difficult. Sorry.
Well, you know, I did go through a lot. I went through a lot of grieving. I did things like when he died. After the funeral, that was the hardest bit because it was hard at the funeral because people were coming up to me and in one breath they were saying congratulations on your wedding and sorry for your loss, all in the same sentence. So for me, that time was extremely surreal. I was looking around at the graveside and thinking, you were at the wedding 3 weeks ago, and you were at the wedding. And it just, none of it made any sense to me at all. And I felt like I was on the outside looking in. But it was after the funeral then that was quite difficult for me. I did things like put on his jumper, listen to his music, wear his
So I'm
aftershave.
smiling because I did something like that. Put his pyjamas on.
Wear his aftershave, things like that. And, you know, I did do my crying, and I did do my anger, and I did do the wailing, and I did do all that. And then something just, one day, it didn't hurt as much. That griping pain that I thought would never leave me, well, it didn't hurt as much.
And this is a thing, because sometimes it feels like you're going to be in that state forever.
Absolutely.
And then, but with time, they do say time is a healer. And, you know, it does. After a while, that pain does numb, and then it eventually goes. But Marilyn, talking about time, we've almost run out of time. I can't believe it. I want to talk to you more about, quickly, can you tell us about the book that you've written? Because you've done something amazing.
I worked with 15 people who'd been touched by cancer and taught them that the power of the pen for inner healing. And it's a true insight into cancer. And the book is called We Turn Tears into Laughter.
Yeah. Brilliant. And you are looking forward. That hasn't sort of made you sort of give up on life, that experience, because you're moving forward, you're getting on with your life.
Yeah, I am absolutely getting on my life, because my feeling is that I'm a very, very blessed person to have had such a beautiful time with such a wonderful man. And I'm a very blessed person that I got to say goodbye to him. Yeah. There was nothing left to say, we'd said it all. So for that, I am so grateful that I was blessed and privileged to have that time.
Thank you so much, Marilyn, for sharing your story. You're amazing, and all the best for the future. Thank you. All right, guys, so it has been quite an emotional show today, and I really hope that you've all benefited. We are trying to raise awareness and do all that we can. And if you've been affected by anything on this program today, please do get in touch. You can do so via the website, chrissybshow.tv. And if you need to be signposted to any organisations, any charities, we'll make sure that we do that for you. So we have reached the end of today's program, and until next time, bye-bye for now. I don't want to ask him, look stupid.
I should have done it.
Yes, hashtag for tonight is we can, oh, it was upside down. It's not, is it? It's fine. Sorry. Cancer research, then do go to the website. I forgot it. Now, just before I go, I'd just like to, do you want to do it? I'll get you to do it because I'm just messing up. Just hold them up, sorry.